Hey, Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita chapter summary series. Today we will be discussing chapter number 5. Can anybody please tell me what is the title of chapter number 5 of Bhagavad Gita? It's an open book question. Feel free to unmute yourself.
Karma Yoga.
Karma Yoga and something else. There's more to it.
Action in Krishna consciousness. Karma Yoga.
Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so does this ring bell? In the previous chapter, or previous one of previous chapters, also there was a similar title. Which chapter was it?
3.
Hmm? Say again.
Chapter 3.
Chapter 3. Yeah, chapter 3 is Karma Yoga. Correct. So, you might think, why again the same title? Okay, because it's kind of repetitive. Yes, it is. Why? Because normally Arjuna is asking a question. The question is quite simple, straightforward. In the first chapter itself, we saw what was the question, whether I should fight or not. Okay. Now, normally when we go and ask a question to somebody, okay, even though we consider them as more experienced expert guru, but we already are inclined towards one answer, and we are looking for that answer from that particular person. And till the point of time this person doesn't give that answer which I want to hear, I will keep asking and asking and asking, right? So Arjuna is acting like us now for our benefit. So he is asking again, and Krishna is going to repeat again. Okay. Till the time he and we are fully convinced. So, because this sounds repetitive, the acronym for today is REP. RREP. Okay. So, R firstly stands for renunciation. So, Karma Yoga, if you remember the acronym of chapter 3, it was threes. Okay. And T stood for
Tyag.
Tyag, which means renunciation. And here also R stands for renunciation, right? Okay. And then the second R. Okay, because it's repetitive, we'll do two R's. Okay. The second R stands for roles, role play. Like somebody is playing a role in a drama, something like that. So roles. Okay. Who are playing the roles? What are the roles? We'll see that. And then the third one is E. RREP. E stands for equal vision. Okay, somebody who's with equal vision. Okay. Can somebody tell me that in one of the previous chapters also there was this person with equal vision? Which chapter and who was he?
Is it the Atmaram in chapter 2,
Yes,
Gita?
Atmaram. Yes, beautiful. So RREP. P stands for peace formula. Oh yeah, this chapter is ending with a peace formula. So stay tuned till the end of the chapter to if you really want to know what this peace formula is. Just by knowing this formula, your life will be super peaceful right away. Okay, so those who are taking notes, I will repeat. The acronym of chapter 5 is RREP, REP, and R stands for renunciation. The second R stands for role, and E stands for equal vision, and P stands for peace formula. Okay, so we will deep dive one by one into all four of these. Okay, so first one is renunciation. So this will be again quite similar to the Tyaga of chapter 3. Okay, so what is true renunciation? What is false renunciation? Vanna Mataji just beautifully explained to us that true renunciation and false renunciation. For somebody who externally looks like he's renounced and he's detached, he will leave everything and go to the forest, or he will wear orange saffron clothes, doesn't really mean that he is renounced, because in his mind maybe he's still attached to many other things. So this is fake renunciation, falgu vairagya. And what is true renunciation? True renunciation is somebody that who may own things, okay, but the things don't own him. right? So what does that mean? That even though he looks like he's very rich, okay, and he owns a lot of possessions, but at the same time he is not attached to those possessions. He knows that these are just temporarily awarded to him. He's just a custodian or a trustee of these, be it the things or the people in his life, and all of this is given to him by the real true owner. Okay, so that is somebody who is truly renounced. So that's renunciation. Okay. And then the second R stands for roles, role play. So let me ask you a question. Whenever something is happening in my life, can I say it is because of me? Yes or no? You can feel free to put on chat those who think yes. And whatever is happening in your life is because of you. Yes or no? Let's see on the chat. What do you think? There's no right or wrong answer here, just your opinion. Everything that happens in your life, is it because of you? Yes or no? That's it. Or you can unmute yourself if you think yes or no. I'm just asking yes or no. Is it because of you? Yes or no? For those who are saying past karmas, it's also your karma. You did it. So maybe it's you. Then your answer should be yes. Okay. I have mixed answers here. Some people say no, some people say yes. Okay. So I would like to hear from those who say yes first. Why do you think that it is because of you that everything happens in your life?
As you said, no, yeah, we assume that it's because of our past karmas. So it's ultimately we only.
Okay, understand? Yeah, something that I did in the past because of which something is happening to me. Okay, favorable or unfavorable. Let me hear somebody who says no. Why do you think no? Then, if not you, then who? Please unmute yourself and let me know. If it's not because of you that things are happening in your life, then who?
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So
Krishna.
we can desire, but it's sanctioned by the Lord, the Supersoul, and the three modes of the material nature. They facilitate the happening or not happening of that desire. Therefore,
Perfect, bang on.
we are not totally in control of what happens with us or to us.
So So normally we think it's because of us, okay? But I would argue that if it is everything happening in my life is because of me, then why am I suffering? Why am I sad sometimes? Sometimes we desire for some things and those things don't come to us. Like some people, they want to be rich, but not everybody is rich. Some people, they want to get married, but they are struggling. Yeah, laws of nature, Surbi says. True that. So somebody would say no, it's not because of me, it's also because of the Lord's will, because whenever the Lord sanctions, then things happen. So then why are we suffering again? Is the Lord so bad that he wants us to suffer? We say that the Lord is all loving, so how can it be that he wants his children to suffer? So is it because of God? No. Is it because of me? No. Then who? So this is laws of nature. So is everything happening because of the laws of nature? Because this material nature is creating everything? Then why not for everyone? Why selectively? So we need to understand here there are three people, three participants. Okay. One is the soul, that is us, the Jiva. Second is the super soul, which is the Lord. And third is the material nature. Okay. All these three put together, okay, on the basis of that, they have different roles, and then something happens in this material world. The first step is we jivas. What we do is we desire. We want something to happen. And then the Lord may or may not sanction that. Okay. And once the Lord sanctions that, then the material nature arranges and facilitates for that desire to be executed. Let's understand by the way of an example. Okay. So let's say today I want to construct a building. Okay. So that's my desire. I want to construct a building. I go to the land authority and I get the permission. Okay. And then once that is sanctioned by the land authority, then what happens comes in role are the contractors, the machinery, and everything else. Okay. So by the help of all three, does the building come into establishment. If it was not either of three, even one is missing, it's not possible. So it's because of all three. So we understand that whatever is happening in and around us is by first our desire, second sanction of the Lord, and third, once everything is sanctioned, then the material nature arranges for that. So as jivas, our role is only to desire. Okay, so make sure that your desire is in alignment with the Lord's plan. So obviously it will be sanctioned, and then you just have to wait and watch for the material nature to arrange it, right? So those who are thinking and struggling with some kind of desires which are not fulfilled, then maybe you can go and check back how this is not aligned with the Lord's plan. And that is why it is not being sanctioned. Okay, and that is why the material nature is not arranging it. And that is why you are feeling sad or depressed, right? Okay, so that's
Doubt.
about, yeah.
Can it happen that a soul has desired and it has been sanctioned by Supersoul, but somehow the material nature is not putting it together to happen? Can that
Cannot,
happen? A possibility?
cannot, because the material nature is the inferior energy of the Lord. So the material nature is directly controlled and is working only and only according to the directions of the Lord. So that is why cannot. So once it is
Okay.
sanctioned,
So,
then it will come into play. Do you have a counter on that? Or can we go ahead?
we can go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. So this, we said R is renunciation, another R is role play, and the next one is E. E stands for equal vision. So now, again, it comes relates to the Atmaram. Okay. So now, once somebody who has understood this, that what is renunciation, true renunciation, fake renunciation, how things come into play, okay, what are the role plays of each of these three participants, and how things are executed in this material world. Once somebody who knows this, he becomes, who understands this completely and functions according to this, he becomes a person with equal vision. Okay, so again, he is looking at everybody in equanimity. And when I say every, so imagine if we all saw each other in equanimity, so there would be no differences, no casteism, racism, sexism, and not just that, because this person with equal vision, he is not just looking at people with equanimity, he is also looking at all living entities with equanimity. Okay, and then that's why there is not even any speciesism. Okay, and why does he look at everybody with equal vision? Because he understands that everybody, every living entity is part and parcel of the same supreme Lord. And that is why he is respectful to each and everybody, because he knows that this body, this particular living entity whom I'm seeing in front of me, is actually a temple of the supreme Lord. There is Lord residing in this particular entity. And that is why he sees everyone with equal vision. So, and then to the end of the chapter, Krishna talks about a peace formula. Would you guys like to know what the peace formula is so that you all can be peaceful too? Are you guys looking for some peace in your life? Not
Definitely.
PIECE, but PEACE.
Very much.
Everyone, yeah, okay. Okay. So, this chapter ends with a very beautiful shloka. Does anybody know the shloka Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam and can chant it for me?
Hare Krishna, I'll try to.
Give me your best.
Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvalokamaheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim vichyati. Hari Bol.
Beautiful. Yeah. So I'll just break this shloka a bit, word by word, so you guys can connect. Um, Bhoktaram, Bhogna. Okay, you must be familiar, those who know Hindi, Sanskrit. Bhogna. Bhogna is to enjoy. Okay. So Bhoktaram. Okay. Yajna. Yajna means austerity or sacrifice. Yajna tapasam. Tapasya, it's austerity, sacrifice. Okay. Yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram. Sarva means all. Loka means planet. Maheshwaram. The word Maheshwaram comes with the word Maha plus Ishwar. So Maha and Ishwar. Ishwar means the proprietor, and Maha Ishwar meaning the proprietor of proprietors. Okay. So Sarva Loka Maheshwaram means who's the proprietor of the proprietors of all the planets. Okay. So Bhoktaram, enjoyer of all austerities and sacrifices. Second line, the proprietors of all the planets. Okay. Yeah. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. Suridam. Suridam is somebody who's a well-wisher, a friend, a well-wisher. Okay. Suridam. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. Sarva again is all. Bhuta. Bhuta means entities, living entities. So who is the well-wisher of all living entities? Suridam Sarva Bhutanam. Gnatva Mam Shanti. Gnatva means to know. Gnan. Okay, to know. Mam Shantim Richati. Mam. So somebody who knows me, Krishna is saying this shloka. So somebody who knows me as these three qualifications, Shantim Richati, achieves peace. So somebody who knows that Krishna is A, B, and C achieves peace. So if today you know this, you will achieve peace. How? First, what to know, and then how. What to know first is that Krishna is what? Bhoktaram. Bhoktaram means the enjoyer. Okay, the ultimate enjoyer. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapas. Sarva Loka Maheshwara. He is the proprietor of all the planets. And third, Suridam. He is the well-wisher. So first, he is the ultimate enjoyer. He is the proprietor of proprietors, and he is the well-wisher of all living things. If you know these things about Krishna, you will be peaceful. Well, today you all know. Does it make you peaceful? Let's deep dive here. How and why? So, firstly, if you understand, if you're fully convinced that Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer, so what happens is that even when you think that you want to enjoy something, you are hankering for something, then you realize, oh, wait, why am I trying to do this? Because ultimately, Krishna is the enjoyer. Let me make all my arrangements towards his enjoyment. Because when the whole is happy, the part is happy. The hand cannot say, let me eat my own food. It has to put the morsel in the mouth. Okay, and then the digestion takes place, the food goes to the stomach, and the whole body is happy. Now, they cannot say all the parts of the body, let me have my own enjoyment. They need to work together for the ultimate enjoyment of the body, and then the parts are also happy. So similarly, we as part and parcel of Krishna, we need to ensure that our activities are aimed towards his enjoyment, and thereby we will be happy. Okay, so we don't need to try to enjoy our senses. Let's not get into sense gratification, the temporary enjoyment. Let's completely understand that all the enjoyment is towards Krishna, the enjoyer, the ultimate enjoyer of all austerities and sacrifices. Anything that you sacrifice, any austerity that you do is for the pleasure of Krishna. Then second one, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. He is the proprietor of all proprietors. If I am fully convinced that I am not the proprietor of my house, jewelry, car, etc., okay, So what happens is, one, the envy factor goes out, because I will not try to gain more and more. I will not compete with other people. Oh, his salary is more, or his pro business income is more, or he has a better house, because I know it is not him, it is not me. Ultimately, the ultimate proprietor is only one, and that is Krishna. And that helps us to get away from this envy, from this competition, from this hankering, from the greed to get more and more, because ultimately it's not mine. At the same time, if I lose a bid, it doesn't matter, it's not mine anyways. Right? If you are working for a company and the company makes super profit, or the company makes losses, but your salary is going to be the same, does it matter to you? No. But if your salary, or there is an element in your income which is tied to the profits, let's say bonus, profit sharing, then it affects you because you think it's yours, right? So your everything is of the ultimate owner, the proprietor of the proprietor of the proprietors of all planets. So each planet has a proprietor. Each planet has, like Brahmaloka, the proprietor is Brahma. So like that, each planet has somebody in charge of that planet, and Krishna is the proprietor of all these people who are in charge. So imagine how high his position is, right? And then if you understand that he's the owner, I don't want to be, I cannot even be the owner. Even if I try to be, it's an illusion. So what happens is, you get away from all of this envy, greed. And then ultimately, the third point, which is the most important and my favorite part, is even if he's the owner of all the planets, yeah, but still he is the well-wisher of every single living entity. Imagine that, the such a high position, and he is my well-wisher. Just imagine if today, even if I don't go to the owner of planets, I don't go to the owner of planets, I don't go to the owner of, let's say, the world, I just go to, let's say, a president, a prime minister, or even let's say in our own job place, workplace, or somewhere where there is a person of very high ranking, very high authority. And if this person, the prime minister, president, or the shareholder, or whatever, whomever you think has a very high designation, high ranking, this person becomes your well wisher. Okay, do you have anything to fear? If today the president is my well wisher, I would be afraid of nobody, nobody. If somebody tells me something and like, tu janta nahi main kaun hu, that kinds. So because I have this person who has my back, so what is it for me to fear in that, right? Now this owner and proprietor of all planets, who can just by his breath change all the planets, all the planetary positions, he is my well wisher. Just imagine. So how can something go wrong? Just think about it. And those who know Krishna to be this actually achieve peace, is what Krishna says. So, so let's um, understand the practical application of this, although there were some points which were covered during the session. Um, Firstly, about renunciation we learned, okay, and then we learned about the role play. We need to understand how things work in this material world, and once we understand that, we can see people with equal vision. And then we understood about the peace formula, where Krishna tells us A, B, and C. A is he's the ultimate enjoyer, not me, and he's the proprietor of proprietors, not me, and he is my ultimate well wisher. Okay. So now somebody would be like, okay, understood. There is two times Karma Yoga and Karma Yoga chapter. Okay, and I understand that Karma Yoga means that I need to still continue to do my activities, but not be attached to the results, and continuously think about the Lord and offer all my activities to the Lord. But tell me practically, how can I do this? How can I always think about the Lord? How can, in my each and every activity, people ask me if I go to the workplace between 9 to 7, there is no Krishna. I just completely forget. I don't even have time to eat or go to the washroom. How can I think about Krishna in that kind of a situation? You know, so how can I offer all my activities to Krishna? How can I be so detached? So here's a story which I will end with, where you can take inspiration from, so that you can try to remember Krishna and how it is feasible. Is that Once, a king had invited a few sages, okay, for a meal, okay, and because the king was highly respectable by the sages, the sages came and accepted the invitation. The king had organized seats, individual seats for each sage to sit with a small stool table for them to have their meal. Now, the king asked them, first let's have the meal, okay, pehle pet puja baad mein kaam duja. So they agreed, and then when they sat on their individual seats, on top of each and every seat was a sword hanging. And then they were like, oh my god, what is this, like why is that done? And it was like any time the sword could drop on their head. But because the king was highly respectable by the sages continued to have their meal very quickly and get done from that place. Now, while they were having that meal, what do you think? What was on their mind? What was the constant thought on their mind? Even though their activity was eating, but their constant thought was the sword, right? Similarly, in our life, although we are doing certain activities, but the constant thought on our mind could be something else. Let's take your own example when there is something that is worrying you, okay, that is upsetting you. Well, after chapter 2, when we understand our true identity, there shouldn't be anything worrying you. But let's say in the past, when things were worrying you before you attended these classes, so that time, that even doing all your daily activities from morning till night, but there was one constant thought in your mind, which was that worrying factor, right? Been there, done that, experienced, guys. Yeah. So that way, if that one thought could be on my mind when I'm doing other activities, then why not Krishna? What can I change to replace it? Right? So, on that note, I would advise all of you to go through this entire week, and I will see you in next Saturday. Until then, please keep thinking about Krishna and please live a peaceful life knowing that Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer, owner, and your well wisher. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, we just have 5 minutes and then we call it a session. No questions, no comments, then Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your time and
Very nice
attention.
class. Very nice class. Especially the practical aspects. I simply love the way you correlate things. It makes so much sense and it adds so much value to it. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I totally agree with Vandana ji. Very nice class. Thank you so much.
Thank you.